Traders, stop shorting into strength without waiting for confirmation. Bitcoin is currently retesting one of the most important levels in the entire cycle, a level that rejected price for almost 4 years. Back in 2021, this zone created the famous double top that sent Bitcoin into a pretty nasty bear market. For years, people said Bitcoin was too expensive at this level, and now that exact resistance has turned into demand. Historically, when Bitcoin breaks a multi-year resistance and comes back to retest it, it doesn't just bounce, it expands. So the real question right now is Bitcoin sitting at the cheapest level of the cycle before the next expansion, or are we about to sweep the liquidity first one more time before the real move begins? In this video, I'm going to show you the monthly head and shoulder structure that's forming, why this support level could be the beginning of the next great expansion, the major resistance that's now above the $70,000 level, and my Morpho trade, which is pushing into the second profit objective, and also why I'm staying away from the Bitcoin short because there's no confirmation. No emotions, no guessing, just structure and following the plan. And if you value real analysis over hype, make sure to subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is go to the description and you can press the subscribe button just like that. Make sure you press the like button a few thousand times because that always helps out. And share this video with someone who still thinks Bitcoin is too expensive right now. And you can also join the free Telegram channel by clicking on this link right here. Okay? Now, that's because that's where all the details are. Anyway, let's get into this and evaluate the charts, right? So, let's go! So, before we get into that, first things first, we're going to look at the macro, right? So, Bitcoin is sitting at a major structural support level on the charts. The macro narrative around Bitcoin is getting stronger again because something very interesting just occurred. Luxury auto giant Lamborghini has now announced that it will accept Bitcoin for payments in the US. Now think about that for a second. One of the most recognizable luxury brands in the world is now integrating Bitcoin into its payment infrastructure. That's great for fake gurus because now they could use their Bitcoin to go rent the cars, right? And then they could put that on Instagram. That's great. That's not hype. That's adoption. And at the same time, we have this, something even bigger, right? Over the previous day, multiple major institutions and exchanges have accumulated massive amounts of Bitcoin. Binance bought over 5,500 BTC. Coinbase, over 4,100. Okay, and you can see the list here. Even a large Satoshi area whale bought 2,700. Grew their position by 2,700 Bitcoin. Combined, that's over $4.2 billion worth, Mr. Powers, of Bitcoin bought in a very short period of time. And if that wasn't enough, check this out. Your favorite neighborhood bald banker, his clients alone purchased another $322 million worth of Bitcoin. So when people ask, why is Bitcoin moving? This is why. We have large institutions. We have major exchanges. We have whales. They're accumulating aggressively. They have been the whole time. And when that kind of capital enters the market at the same time, price doesn't stay quiet for long. Now, whether this creates a breakout or just fuels the next expansion phase is something we'll have to watch closely. But one thing is very clear. Adoption is accelerating and institutional capital is flowing in. Okay? Meanwhile, Bitcoin is sitting at one of the most important structural levels of the cycle, which makes the next move from here even more interesting. Let's talk about the chart, shall we? So we will begin here with this time frame. We have the monthly chart. So we can see something very interesting forming on this chart, a large head and shoulders pattern. Now, the left shoulder formed back in 2021. The head formed during the deeper correction, and now we are seeing the right shoulder currently developing. This right shoulder is forming exactly at a key support level, and this level is not random. This is the same area where Bitcoin spent most of it the entire year consolidating between 2024 and 2025 before eventually breaking out in a major way. So this zone has proven to be a very strong demand area where buyers stepped in aggressively before. Now, people, before you give me a hard time about the thumbnail and all that other stuff and say, oh, I never thought I'd see you put a thumbnail like this, just keep in mind, this is a classic chart pattern, and you can actually use the measure, you can measure from the head to the trend line and actually project that from the current price. And what that does is that gives you a potential profit objective. Now, while many people are looking at 150,000, when you do this measurement, it actually puts 600,000 on the map. Okay, now look, I'm not trying to be like Michael Saylor. All I'm saying is it puts it on as a possibility on the map, right? Whether that happens or not is another story, but it opens up the possibility, and that's all. So please keep that in mind. All right, so before thinking about those long-term objectives, we need to understand what Bitcoin is doing on the lower time frames. So let's go to the smaller time frame. We'll look at the 3-day chart right here. Right now, we can see that there's a fair value gap that's sitting above price, okay? That would be this area over in here, and you have to keep an eye on that, because if Bitcoin is actually bullish from this level, what we want to see is price invalidating this bearish fair value gap. In simple words, that means we want to see candles closing above the imbalance, turning it into an inverse fair value gap, which would be bullish. If that happens, then it would show that buyers are stepping in and the market is reclaiming, the buyers are stepping, or they're reclaiming control, right? So right now, the $70,000 level is still a general resistance area. Now we're above it, right? We went as high as 74. We're messing around, what, 72 or whatever, but that 70,000 is basically still in play. So the entire region becomes extremely important in this situation. Now, let's go to another time frame here. Check out the 12-hour chart. So we can see here the structure more clearly. Bitcoin was inside this dealing range for quite a long time, over a month. And during that period, price was slowly compressing below this bearish trend line, right? Eventually, price broke the trend line, formed a bullish order block, as you can see here, and now price is pushed through the major resistance. So from here, we have two scenarios. Either Bitcoin pulls back into the bullish order block, finds confirmation, and then reverses higher, or we see a strong breakout continue, as we have here, with an inside bar break above the high of the inside bar and a continuation back up toward that $80,000 price objective. But because this entire move occurred after this range, it's also suspect. You have to be cautious because this could become a failed high. So keep that in mind. All right, because it may search for liquidity at the lower levels. Now, let's move into the morpho trade idea here, because price has been pushing higher and we're now very close to our second profit objective. All right, now, because of this move, I actually moved the stop to $1.70. So at this point, the trade is fully protected. If price reverses from here, the trade will still close in profit. But if momentum continues and price pushes higher, then we can easily push through the second profit objective. And if the trend stays strong, I may even scale further into the position, right? That is how you manage winning trades. You protect the position first, then you let the market expand from there. All right, now let's take a look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. Yesterday, I mentioned that even though price initially pushed up and started failing, I wasn't fully trusting the move. And the reason is now visible on the chart. Bitcoin eventually moved toward the equal highs, the liquidity that I had mentioned earlier in this red area, right? Now, from this area, I want to see confirmation from the market. Now, we haven't gotten that. So if I start seeing strong bearish candles closing below this range, then I may look for the short opportunity from this zone. But again, this is not a blind trade. I am not putting limit orders in this area blindly, all right? I want to see a clear bearish confirmation before entering the trade. So this trade is not in play. Let me make that clear, right? Because again, this is not about thinking you know where the market's going to go. It's about adjusting to new information. Let's take a look here at the trade challenge, right? Now, quick update on the $10,000 to $100,000 trade challenge. The goal of this challenge has never been hype, right? It's about following the plan. No gambling, no structured, no nonsense, just structured trades and proper risk management. Right now, the morpho position is protected and in profit, okay, after moving the stop loss. And then we have the Bitcoin setup. It's not in play yet. The trade is not in play, which is okay. So because in this challenge, we do not chase trades. If the level is not compromised, we simply wait for the market to come to us. Missing trades is perfectly normal, right? Breaking rules is what messes up your account. And the whole purpose of this challenge is to show how following a plan compounds over time. Now, let me talk about this, right? All leveraged trades in this challenge are actually done on the MEXC platform. The reason is simple. Oh, let me show you the right page here. So here we have this, right? when you're using leverage, you need fast orders, deep liquidity, low slippage, and reliable fills. That is exactly why I'm using MEXC for these setups, right? Now, there's also a special event running right now with MEXC. They're doing a $2,000 bonus giveaway for the community. Here's how it works. Sign up using my referral link. You can find that in the description. Deposit 100 USDT within 7 days, and then trade $1,000 or more worth of futures. The first 40 users will receive a $50 futures bonus each. So, if you were planning to start on MEXC anyway, this is a great opportunity to grab the bonus as well. You could use my referral link, which you can find right here, MEXC-3QX capital XN. You could use that, or you could just go in the description and you'll find the link there, right? The campaign link will be there as well. All right, by the way, we're tracking all of this using the Profits Precision platform. Now, this is very important because professional traders don't rely on just nonsense or emotions. They rely on data. All right, so inside Profits Precision, we track everything: the win rate, the reward to risk ratios, the net profitability, okay, everything, trade consistency over time. And the best part, this thing is completely free to use right now. So if you're not journaling your trades, you're basically wasting your time because you can't see what you're actually doing. Most traders don't lose because their strategy is bad. They lose because they don't track performance and can't identify their mistakes. And this challenge is about growing an advantage or following a plan that compounds over 50, 100, or 200 trades, because that's how real traders grow. Now, guys, let's just zoom out here a bit, right? Bitcoin is sitting at a massive level. Liquidity is growing, and the next big move can happen at any time. And that's exactly why I'm watching the market very closely right now. So listen, I'm sharing trades almost every single day, right? We have entries. We have the stops, we have the partials, we have all that stuff, the full trade management, and all of it could be found in the Telegram channel. All you have to go is into the description over here, right? As you can see, you go here, you can see the link, you just expand this over here, you click on this link, and you are in. Everything goes there before the move happens. So if you want to follow the $10,000 to $100,000 challenge, I highly suggest you go to the Telegram channel right now. Okay, do it. Do it now. And you'll see all the setups in real time. So people, join the free Telegram, like I said, and stay calm, stay safe, watch your levels, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go!